Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards. This is my take two of this video. I made the whole video, went to stop it and noticed that I hadn't hit play. I must have hit pause, so I'm going to do this a second time, but wanted to show a few things I got in the mail from some YouTubers and a couple things that I bought myself. The first thing is I won a contest from Jack, Cracker Jack Cards. Great kid. I believe he was just on with John and Jeannie. Does a really nice job, him and his dad, mostly Minnesota type stuff. They live up in that area, but I happened to come in second in his contest, and I was really interested in one particular thing, but Scott came in first, and I was like pretty sure he's going to take this piece because I thought it was right up his alley. And Scott either did me a big favor and left it for me, and I don't know if he did or didn't, or if he just liked those other cards better. But either way, it worked for me, so thank you, Scott. The first piece being the Stan Musial advertising piece for, what are these shoes? Winthrop Jr.'s shoes. And he's got his son Dick down here. So I'd love to get this matted and framed to put up with some of my other Musial stuff. Very cool piece. Love it. Also included Bob Lemon. Another great advertising piece. And this is for Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions. And it was funny when this contest was first announced, Scott and I were texting each other and they were like, it'd be funny if one of us won this because there's something for each of us in it. And so this will be going into Scott's collection. I'm going to see him this weekend at a minor league baseball game. So that will be making its way to Cleveland. And then Jack asked me, he said, have you ever heard of Bill Greason? I said, I have not. And Bill Greason was a Negro League player who played 4 innings in the major leagues for the St. Louis Cardinals. And he's 98 years old, still alive. But I'm not sure the story behind this or why Jack has it, but I now do. Bill Greason's autograph. I had never heard of Bill Greason, as many of you probably have not. I guess there probably wasn't a whole lot of reason to know of him, but he knew I liked the history of the Negro Leagues and thought this would be great for my collection, which it is, and gave me another chance just to do some research on some other players I was not aware of. So fortunately, I don't think he has a card, so with only playing 4 innings, so he probably won't make my videos of Negro Leagues to Major Leagues. So then my buddy Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, sent this in the mail to me. Stan Musial, Mickey Mantle. Look on the back, it's got their names. And then it says, hold on here. I was trying to do this without putting these on, but Stadium Souvenir Shops, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. So Rick wasn't 100% sure if this is vintage, but I'm guessing it is. Blank postcard on the back. So not sure the purpose of, I'm guessing it was an all-star game. Why they would have been together. And then Rick sent me the obvious. And I'm going to try zooming in here a little bit. This awesome t-shirt he had made for all the Misfits. And it's my avatar now, and I'm sure a bunch of you have seen this already, but Scott drew this up for us. Man, what a job he did of catching what we look like. But what I love are the subtle things. You know, he's got my cigar in there, and he's got me kneeling, and I don't know if I can bring it down. It says Scott's Fan Club, and then you got John with his nunchucks. You got Lou, you know, always yelling, "Go Yankees," with the hat on backwards, and Rick, "Get off my lawn," and you got Bob eating his cereal, which he's always doing, and got James. Jake wishes he was on the shirt. James, who does the Triple Crown shows. But my favorite thing is the George. And first of all, I think that's George spot on. I think that's the best character of all of us. But right here, he's got Jake's application. He's got the big denied stamp. And that just cracked me up when I saw that. So such a cool piece that Scott drew. And Rick, thank you so much for making these shirts for us and sending them out. So love it. Just this YouTube community having a little bit of fun. So the cards I picked up 2 cards recently. And they're for the 1950 Bowman Hall of Fame set. So if I was doing this set like I did my other sets, I would be done because I just do the Hall of Fame players, and I've got them all now. But I decided on this set to do Leo DeRocher, and Casey Stengel. So I do need Casey Stengel yet. But as the players go, picked up this Enos Slaughter. And when I saw it on eBay, I saw how sharp the corners were and the centering. But the guy didn't show the back. And I'm like, oh, what is wrong with this? And I don't see anything wrong with this card. And Brian B. Ross 6, I sent it out to a text with a bunch of guys, and I think Scott said it too. They looked it up on PSA's website and did the certification number search, which I didn't even think of. And they found a picture of the back, and the back is clean. So why it's a 2 is, if you look over there, see the creasing right there? But if I hold it like that, what creasing? And when I put it up on my displays, I'm telling you guys, when I look at these cards, they seriously look like 7s or 8s. And most of them are 2s or 3s. There's a few higher grades in there. But because they're far enough away, I'm not looking at these cards like this anymore. There was a time where I probably wouldn't have bought this card, where now I'm like, the registration's so good, the centering's so good, it's so sharp, you know, the corners, that you're just... I mean, when am I going to hold the card like this to see those creases up there? So very happy to get that, and very happy to have some YouTubers help me out on seeing someone did see that flaw and the back. So the next card I got was surprisingly hard for me to find the way I wanted it. Saw one in Strongsville and just didn't look like, I know I wasn't going to be happy with it. And my buddy Chris from Missouri is like, man, you're picky. I'm like, on certain things I am. And if I did find a nice copy of this card, it was super expensive. It was like in a 7 or an 8. I'm like, I don't need a 7 or 8. And this one popped up on eBay the other day, and I threw a best offer out of $20 less than what he was asking. And was, you know, it just been listed, and I'm like, I doubt he's going to take it, but the guy did. And that's Luke Appling. And man, I've been searching for a copy of this for a year. You know, there's a little bit of blue ink up there. But again, like I said, it'll be up on the shelf. But look at the centering on that. The registration, corner's a little bit rounded, which is, it's a 1950. I'm perfectly fine with that. If you get a chance, or you want to learn, see something interesting about Luke Appling, search on YouTube Luke Appling home run. In 1984, he was playing in a old timers game. It was American League versus National League, and he was facing this guy right here, Warren Spahn. Now, granted, you know, Luke was 75 at the time, and I don't know how old Warren Spahn was, but probably around the same age. You know, they weren't throwing heaters up there, but Luke took Warren Spahn deep. He hit a home run to left field, and I'm not sure what the standing is, but even if it's slow pitch, it's 75 years old to hit a ball that far. Luke's running around the bases, and Pee Wee Reese is high-fiving him, and the umpires are congratulating him, and K-Line's coming out the bat and gives him a high five. So it's like a 30-second clip, but it's kind of cool to watch, and brings these guys to life a little bit. So as always, guys, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you soon.